Hi everyone, welcome to the Reception Show. My name is Fariba, and I believe we're about to watch episode 5 of House of the Dragon season 3, which means we're more than halfway through the series. We're getting to the end of season 3, let alone once season 3 does end, we're also getting closer to the end of the series, because if you guys are not aware, the plan is to be a 4 season series, and yeah, we're already more than halfway through that point. So that being the case, I think from where we left off, we got to learn a little bit more of who what was the High Tower guy's name? Basically Otto's brother. I'm like losing my mind for a little. Oh, Ormond. There we go. Ormond Hightower. So Otto's brother that we're learning a little bit more about. The fact that we now know who the real Darren is, the guy who's still with him, and we're getting a sense of the fact that he does not like Targaryens, let alone, he was talking a lot about how he despises them, even talks crap about their bloodline, which he himself is really like, I just don't like the fact that you have this tainted blood to Daeron, and you can tell, like, Daeron isn't like the rest of his family members where he knows the Valyrian language, so he's just speaking in, like, the regular English to Sarian, so we get a sense of the fact that there is going to be some trouble brewing because of the fact that Daeron is still around. He is now the next person in line that would challenge Rhaenyra's claim to the throne, simply because of the fact that he is just now the next male line, even though, like, Viserys literally was the one who handpicked Rhaenyra to be the ruler of Westeros, but we'll see how that goes and how this is going to brew up. We know that there's supposed to be, I guess, a battle called Battle of Tumbleton. I heard a little bit about this, but I don't know if this is something that we're going to expect this upcoming episode. It looked as though that was going to be the case with some of the previews. Let alone, we do now know what happens to Aemon. We know he's still alive after seeing those previews, so now it's just a matter of seeing where this is going to go moving forward. But yeah, I know last episode was kind of like the calm before the storm, so like the build up to this upcoming battle they're probably gonna have. So, and not only that, but the World Cup is now over. Spain has won the World Cup. It was quite a roller coaster ride, and I'm still a little bit bittersweet about it. But now that I've really processed everything, we are now down to business. We will be now focused on House of the Dragon and just about the rest of the summer schedule. But without further ado, let's get right down into episode 5 of House of Dragon season 3.
Size.
Well, there's a Stark right there, so.
Well, we continue to suffer.
Oh, it's Kristar. Oh no, this is not good. Well, this is gonna hurt the High Towers.
To the next crossing, then.
So there you are. Still somehow alive. But yeah.
Can you hear me? It's just a dream again.
Oh, so she is tending to him, as we suspected.
And I ruined everything.
Who is she? Your sister? Oh, so she took the advice. That's the way to get the cats. The mice, yeah. The rats.
And how familiar you are with disorders of the, female persuasion.
I don't want it.
I think I know what that tea does.
Could be a boy. Do you see?
Harrenhal.
No, he was there, but he has fled. He's vanished.
I've seen him. He burns, but without fire.
So it's okay.
If Aemon threatens Renee... No, it's not. Listen to me. Listen to me. It is a blessing. It is a remedy taught to the maesters of the Citadel. It has delivered me from disgrace and ruin. It has delivered Rhaenyra herself when she was young, and it will deliver you too.
Whoa, what is this supposed
Helena,
to mean?
please.
What the hell?
Please, listen.
What could anyone possibly want in Wendish Town?
Not Wendish Town itself, Your Grace, but a small village at the outskirts. Slip.
I am more than ready to fly.
Well, it will not service if your eyes are weary and your beast fatigued. I will send Damon.
I will go once I have dealt with this business in the city. And we depend on those men now to secure your rule. Especially since their wages have been withheld.
I guess. There's a lot of conflict going on. There's a lot of problem solving that needs to be made.
Is it
Wow.
always like this?
Yep.
Fulfill your commands, just later.
I'm in no mood to jest. What does it make of me if you will obey me only at a time and place of your own choosing?
You are the queen.
That is... She has a
Act
fair
in your
point.
interest.
Good. My interest is Vhagar.
Mine too, but we have time enough. I'd have asked him anything at all. Will you let yourself be rattled by vapid taunts by the painting of stripes on tavern walls?
They are more than taunts. They are an insult to my sons. A challenge to my
How is it that
legitimacy.
Damon's kind of right?
Your strength is your legitimacy.
And broken and spent, and we are alone. If we were to be discovered... Stop telling me what I can't do!
Somebody's having a
This
tantrum
is his
who
fault.
doesn't know how to control himself.
Everything.
Intense.
Before the warrior
Okay.
himself, I'm going to find him and fucking kill him, or die in the attempt.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. There's like a battle between them because he did try to kind of kill him. Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Yeah. I totally forgot about that.
Guests you receive.
What is it that you want?
And the gifts they bring. Show it to me. And yes, the flask is full.
Oh, she would spot it. She would spot it.
I took a lover after Viserys. Should no longer delay.
Love how she's trying to save her ass by drinking some of it.
As you were once, if I'm not mistaken.
Stay back!
Something is triggering them. Is it a dragon? I think.
Crow's feet. Gods.
Oh. Is she having her period or something? Because that looks like a cramp, something that you would treat for cramps. Uh-oh. And I think we know why. Did you just say dry
did you say?
histories? You shouldn't have said that. I had a feeling that's
No,
not something
of
you should
course not.
say about dry history. And I'm sure with someone his temper.
Or rather, they may seem dry at first glance, but
She declared him a usurper, and all those that marched for him traitors to the Seven Kingdoms. And she swore that Dawn would ever be unbowed, unbent.
Oh, isn't that like their logo? The motto?
A great host descended from the Redbeards.
is she a hero then? Or a villain?
That's a really odd question to ask. This is like Game of Thrones chess.
Let's start again.
Oh, he does not like losing. He got unsmarted by his... Do you say nephew in this case?
Never apologize for victory.
Did he make coins with his face? Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Our room is guarded.
If she were to cry out, even once, then that would be the
I
end.
will not leave her.
It might be prudent, in fact, for the Queen to take the child to ward. We may even be able to send for her one day.
You look away when you lie.
Oh. Yikes.
It has been to some ancient, self-regarding lord in pike with an uphoarded gold to pay Rhaenyra's debt.
And then I'll come and find you. And we'll fly to exile.
Okay.
But only
This
if
is
we
him
eat
flirting.
first.
Which is kind of a little weird in a sense, but then again, it's just Skip Adults.
Vhagar!
Where? Maybe she was afraid.
Am I a
So he's
prisoner?
without a dragon.
No. Without her, I'm nothing.
You are mistaken.
Taking advantages. And Mother indulged him. She loved him more, is the truth of it. Poor darling Aemond and his scabby little eye. And
I
now
love
he's
how they're
killed
all.
me and the whole fucking
Oh,
world
this is just a
knows it.
typical sibling feud. I would know. I know these. I know these kinds of feelings.
I must say, risen to greatness. But instead you trampled your birthright in the mud.
Oh, he's giving him a reality check, huh?
Erased tea.
Oh.
Fucking
Yeah.
anything in sight and drinking yourself into oblivion with your sycophantic friends.
He's not wrong. He's
I'll tell
basically
you the truth.
showing that he's entitled.
You were a terrible king. But worse than that,
So straightforward.
you are.
I can't believe Larys is giving him that kind of chat, huh?
You are more than this.
Yikes.
Earth in our path, and men are talking of desertion. Sir Kristen. Friend,
That might be a good thing for
I see
Rhaenyra.
no sense in continuing with this plan, and to speak truth, nor do I.
What ship might that be? Seven Hells.
Oh, he's alive. I was wondering what happened to him.
Did you imagine I wouldn't be watching? So it is she who is with child.
I need to see the moon.
But the window will have to do. Speak and you serve no one. You gain the Queen no advantage, but if you say nothing, no harm is done.
What is going on with Helena?
You earn yourself favor with the High.
Lots of loyalties being tested. Ew, it's a leech. Oh, it's a leech. I love how Crispin is like judging him. Mostly because, like, you know, highborns don't usually deal with this kind of stuff, right? So
Little woman, I'm going to fuck you and make you my soul mine.
well, there's Aemond. Oh, we're cutting limbs.
King, do you think even now if you're an advancement?
Oh, begging your pardon, most selfless of servants.
Uh-oh.
I was only risking my life at sea for our common. It seems I missed
Is it?
the salient moment when
His identity has been revealed.
Paid twice over for the sacrifices you make now.
Wow.
And in the years to
Yeah,
come,
he's doing something right.
as Dawn finally bends the knee, as Rhaenyra's great empire grows and the Seigneur Valyria When I return with wagons spilling over.
I love some of them are a bit confused.
Who will be the first?
What is it?
There's no bridge.
The rivermen have crossed and burned the bridge on March.
So we failed.
You just took someone's eye out? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Okay. Wow, Damon.
We will join them in battle. Face them head on.
We've half the men that we set out with. They're two.
But I will not let them diminish me now. I will not return spurned his warrior. And I will die as such.
Okay.
Clear-eyed, unbent, and not in their service. Finally.
So he wants to die in battle.
Young Daeron Targaryen. Ormond has declared him king.
Uh-oh.
We should have burned him when we had the chance.
Go into battle. Oh, she's gonna talk to Alicent about this, huh?
That we do not falter in our resolve. And the smith.
Oh, he's leaving.
Protection.
No. No, it's blocked. We have to go back. There is no way back. The door is shut.
And the stranger.
Oh my god.
The stranger offers us rest.
That was episode 5 of House of Dragon season 3 right there, and what a horrifying image to see at the end of this episode. And I mean, there's just so much to really dissect. I know a lot of people don't like these, dialogue filled episodes, but I actually personally like them just because it really adds to a lot of the drama and intensity of things. And, yes, we love our battles. Yes, we love our wars. But I think what really makes shows like these so great is the actual drama. And yes, we have not gotten to the actual Battle of Templeton as of yet. I know that was something that we saw in the previews last week. I think it was like the midway episode, or midway through a trailer where we see like the rest of season 3, and we know that there's going to be another battle coming up. I mean, it's basically written in the stars that we're about to have another battle. A lot of conflict is brewing between the situation with Rhaenyra now having, gained the seat on the throne, and then the fact that there is Ormond Hightower who's now trying to sit his, I guess, nephew, because if he's, I'm going to say nephew. I might have to go back into his family tree, but I'm pretty sure from the looks of it, his nephew, who to take the claim of the throne, just because, again, and it's not even purely because of the fact that he is a Targaryen who is now the next in line, but it's just more so the fact that he wants to put a Hightower to lead Westeros, which is just basically kind of the whole same shit that we saw with Otto Hightower and how he tried to infiltrate Viserys' family in a way that he's been putting this influence, and now we're seeing Ormond basically do the same thing and just raising the point of why Daemon probably should have honestly overtaken Ormond when he had the chance, because now it's pretty clear that the biggest threat to Rhaenyra's claim at this point is not Aegon, it's not Aemon, but now it's Ormond and Daeron. And even then, Daeron's is more so just a victim of all this, because it's clear that he doesn't really care for the throne. He's not, like, he's very different from Aegon and Aemon in the fact that he's not hungry for power. He's just somebody who's just really smart, someone who's very delicate. From what we at least seen so far, like, he hasn't really showcased any kind of traits that makes him really hungry for power. He's just more so somebody who he's just basically around, and it's more so the fact that Ormond just wants to take over the power of Westeros via the fact that he's connected to Daeron, right? So I think that's pretty clear what's happening here. That's why this is all happening. Now it's a matter of seeing how that will be consequential moving forward, and we're already seeing how Ormond is trying to manipulate the people. I mean, we just saw how, even though it may seem as though that it's the people in King's Landing, those in Flea Bottom, who are causing the chaos, who are killing the Knights of the City Watch, right? And it's not actually necessarily the people, but more so the fact that Ormond now has his specific spies in a way, or like, I guess you can say his loyal servants who want to dethrone Rhaenyra and put in someone like Daeron. We saw the consequence of that. I mean, what an image to see here. And now, the one guy that Daemon really trusted has now been offed, which is absolutely like gonna be the biggest blow to them, let alone the fact that let's be honest, I don't know if this is necessarily, we don't know necessarily if this is Ormond specifically. I know that there was a little bit of tension with the fact that some of those in the watch were a little bit wild for the fact that they were not getting paid. So there could still be the possibility of deceit in the fact that, somebody could have been from the inside just did it. But from the looks of it, it does seem as though there may have been Ormond's own guys who, because they were the ones who've been kind of slashing them, taking out their organs, which I think that in itself kind of makes it clear that it is Ormond and his spies are kind of doing all these kinds of actions. And so now it's a matter of seeing what's going to be next. Now we know for a fact that it's going to be a huge blow for Rhaenyra, knowing the fact that she already has so many other shit to deal with. One being the fact that we're still looking for Vhagar. We still don't know what really happened to Aemon or Aegon. And what else? There's a lot more. The fact that they have no coins, or that they're right now being loaned what they have as of right now from the Vale. And then what else? The fact that Hand of the Queen is back wherever he's in the ocean scene, because he's pissed off with her for not legitimizing his kids. And then yeah, there's a lot of crap happening, and I mean, you have to in some way sympathize with Rhaenyra, because she, from our perspective, of course, we know for a fact that she was the one who was declared the heir to Viserys long ago, and of course all the misunderstandings happened, and now that she's finally reclaimed her throne, all she's saying is problem after problem after problem, all because of the results of how this war had happened. And now she's dealing with the consequences, the impact of those things. And yet, she can only do so much. She only has so much that she can do in terms of trying to resolve situations. And now it's like, I see where she is questioning whether or not the gods even are allowing her to become this queen, knowing the fact that in most cases, usually a male born who takes over the throne. And yet here it is, we see a female born Targaryen with the seat to the throne. And it's like, okay, was this always destined? I mean, we're seeing issues like that. Now she's trying to reunite with Joffrey, who's back now. And yet that's the last child that she has with, Lord Strong from long, long ago, of course. And so, yeah, it sucks to be Rhaenyra right now. She's dealing with so much crap, and not let alone the fact that her Master Whispers, Mysaria, might be keeping secrets from her now. So we have a lot of stuff going on, let alone with the whole Armin situation. Of course, at some point Daemon's going to alert Rhaenyra about, we just saw it here. He did alert Rhaenyra about the whole Daeron situation, and I'm sure she's probably gonna go and talk to Alicent and try to sort out what the hell is going on. It might even endanger at this point because of the fact that it is Daeron. This was something that wasn't really addressed upon, and there's this big shocker now that Ormond's trying to put Daeron to the throne, which I'm sure Alicent was completely unaware of, didn't imagine was going to become an issue, and now this is becoming an issue. And you would think, and now it's like, I'm sure this is gonna put Alicent in a huge situation. I mean, all she wants to do is try to save one of her kids, knowing in fact that what's happened with Aegon, what happened with Aemon, and now it's like, you know, the one person that she has left that she's trying not to destroy their life for is now probably gonna be in threat. And then not only that, but her other child, the one last child that she has, who she's never really met, has really barely ever known, is now under the care of her uncle, is now trying to put him into the throne. It's like Alicent has like, Alicent's just put into a whole like hubbub. It's big situation, like something that she, I'm sure, would be shell-shocked to hear that this is what Ormond's trying to do with Daeron now, and I'm sure that this is going to scare the shit out of her, because now that, you know, Rhaenyra has no choice, but she probably would have to then unalive Daeron because of what Ormond's trying to do. The pawn, like using Daeron as a pawn to then, in a sense, put a Targaryen on the throne, making so that's rightfully done, when really it's just because Ormond Hightower wants to gain power of Westeros, and the same that we saw with Otto trying to do that through Aegon. I don't know if you can really say for Aemon. Aemon didn't really care about his grandfather's perspective, but yeah, what a situation to be in, let alone the fact that, you know, Ormond is already causing a lot of problems for them. And on the other side, we see kind of a lot of other things going on. Like, for instance, Crispin Cole. I know we'll call him Crispin Cole. But Crispin Cole is now trying to reunite with those in Templeton, just because, like, I'm sure he still wants to continue this fight. And he kind of basically admitted here that, you know, he expects that he will die. I think this is one of those cases where we've seen a character who may have accepted their fate, that they will probably die in this war, and not only that, but like, even though he has been offered possibilities of having, like, you know, lordship or having a little bit of power, gold, he doesn't really care for that. I think for him, it's like he's basically saying that he's there to die, and hoping that a song will be sang about him, which I'm sure is probably not gonna be the case, because if that would be the case, we would have heard it in Game of Thrones, or maybe there has. I don't recall 100%. But I think, in a sense, Cole's own ability to try and take matters to his own hands and at least have him control his destiny may not work in a way that he would have anticipated. I mean, we saw Gwaine. Gwaine is basically, like, abandoning him. So there's that. I mean, he's probably gonna lose a lot of people, a lot of men from that. It's a mess. It's a whole mess all around. At least we know that Aemon is alive. Whether or not he's going to try and challenge Rhaenyra is going to be the whole next question in the matter of that. I mean, we know that he's now recovering, but the problem is, I think he is right in the fact that he is a nobody if he doesn't have Vhagar. I mean, that's the only reason why people even are scared of him, because of the fact that he has Vhagar, who is literally the largest dragon in Westeros, who is basically the one person who could basically engulf all the dragons that they have. And now we don't know where he is at, right? Or where she is at. Sorry, I forgot Vhagar's a woman. It's a female. So we don't know where she's at. And I'm sure that's also why Rhaenyra is trying to find Vhagar as quickly as possible. Because, of course, once you have Vhagar, that's, in a sense, saying you have unlimited powers. So we still don't know where Vhagar is. And yeah, here we also have the situation where they also are seeing, like, this brotherly feud between Aegon and Aemon. Something that I completely forgot was a thing. Because I was like, we've been so focused on Rhaenyra and her trying to reclaim the throne and her trying to problem solve that. We completely forgot there's that whole feud between Aegon and Aemon. Again, something that was, of course, fueled by Alicent. Which, again, I feel like that's, like, the most relatable thing about the show, is the fact that, you know, when you have two siblings, especially when it's like the first two born children, having to feud one another and having not had such a close relationship, having one being always, you know, joked around, or someone who's been used, who hasn't been as properly treated or respected in a way that they should, it's obviously going to cause a whole rift between them, especially in the case where, you know, you have one child who is basically spoon-fed, who's basically babied his whole life, and then you have another child that's basically forgotten. And especially in a case like this where, yes, we have 4 kids, so the middle kids usually get forgotten, and it's usually like the first and the last who people remember. But in a case like this, since it was just mostly Aegon, Aemon, and Helena who were raised together, it's like you have Aemon who's been treated like the middle child, where people just forget that he is like a child that, you know, exists. And so because of that, of course, there's a lot of feud. It's kind of funny because I love how in this episode we hear Aemon's perspective and how, you know, he absolutely despises his brother Aegon because he's always been pampered, he's always been taken care of, he's always gotten all this stuff, and the witch is trying to like take care of him and show that he is somebody who's powerful. And then you have someone like Aegon who's literally like, you know, I despise my brother Aemon. He's been trying to get rid of me for so long. And then you have Larys just giving him quite the reality check that he's always been entitled, that, you know, because he's been given all these resources, yet he kind of just withered it away, that he didn't really give like any ounce of effort to really try to become a better kind of, whether it be warrior, king. I mean, he never put the effort into it. He's always been someone who just was really chill in a sense, I guess you can say, or procrastination. I think procrastinated, who doesn't really put in a whole lot of hard work. He's been babied. That's like the whole thing. He's been babied, especially by his mom. Let's be honest, especially by his mom. And we've seen what happened. Like, we've seen the case of how she's basically been protecting Aegon all his life, just to make sure that he isn't, you know, dealing with any of the consequences. Which again, it's just a sense of how Alicent is acknowledging the fact that she was a pretty poor mother and how she raised at least her 2 male kids. But that being aside, we'll see what happens. We now know that that Lannister's twin did survive, because we know the other twin was beheaded, so we know he's gone. But we do now have one Lannister who's still alive, so we have to see what happens from there now and how this would impact Aegon's path moving forward, because he's still alive, even though he's been, you know, declared unalived, but he's still alive. Now it's a matter of seeing where this would lead up into. We're seeing Aegon also kind of trying to regain a lot of power, and the fact that he did attack that dude and killed him, so there's that. But yeah, there's a lot of drama that's brewing. And again, as I said, I've not read the book, so I don't know the full context of what happens in terms of like what is, you know, said in terms of Fire and Blood and like what the Targaryen history is right there. But also considering the fact that we've also seen Condell changing a lot of those plot details, I do wonder how things will end off, because then it just kind of hints that, okay, well, it may not end in the way that we would anticipate, or there might be some changes, or maybe something got exaggerated from those appendices or from those notes, that what we heard from maybe in Game of Thrones, for instance, may not actually be the correct info that we see here. I mean, we're seeing just the multiple perspectives and how things are brewing up. But yeah. Again, it's a really solid episode of like just drama. I'm sure a lot of people are not gonna be too thrilled by it, because it's all about dialogue, it's all about drama, it's all about the different viewpoints I've been seeing so far with characters and where they're leading up to and where they're going. But I always say, I think the drama is really the key part of what makes things so interesting, because if you're just watching something that's purely just action, there was really no excitement to it. Like, what makes you feel up for that excitement? And usually a lot of that's through the drama, the details that we get about the characters, what's their viewpoint, what they're dealing with, what's happening all around, and what are the decisions, and whether or not things are going to be the right or wrong. I think because of that, those are some of the best things that actually made, again, Game of Thrones so great, and it only made other parts of it so much better, and made it so whole in a way. And I feel like we're seeing a bit of that now with House of Dragon, where we're seeing kind of the structure of what made Game of Thrones so great with some of the earlier seasons, and applying that here with House of Dragon. Though again, as I said, I don't know if, you know, if the accuracy to the book is what's really causing a lot of the issues, and why some readers are very annoyed with some of the changes. And I can sympathize with that. As I said, like somebody like me who's read Hunger Games, like I can understand where, like, you know, if you make some really big changes, like, can be very annoying, because it then just takes away some of the key, like it takes away some of the emotionality, takes away some of the intensity, depending on what was taken away from those changes. I don't know that, again, with the whole Nettles thing, like that, a lot of people are annoyed about that. I think even Colin himself said that he decided to like take that story out of the picture, simply so that there isn't going to be so much of this feud between Daemon and Rhaenyra, and just keeping it a little bit more simple. But even that being the case, as I said, so far I'm seeing some really good, drama, a really good, another solid episode. Again, it's not my favorite per se, but I know that this is really kind of fueling the tension and setting up the stage for what looks to be the fact that we will have one more battle before the season ends. I'm hoping it's not going to be like what we saw in season 2, where we had just the one battle, Rook's Rest, and then we just delayed the Battle of Galette to season 3. I think, honestly, I do agree with that part, where maybe Galette should have been done in season 2, and maybe rearranged like the episode count or whatnot. But yeah, it does seem as though we will have one more battle, and it's leading up to that. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how this is going to end off, especially because I've not read the books. I know the details of it. I kind of know how things are going to end. We've also even heard the story of Rhaenyra from Game of Thrones, so it's not like it's anything too new. But that being the case, I'm very curious how this show will end. But that being said, this is episode 5 that we have right here. We're just about reaching to the end of the line. We have 6, 7, 8 left, and then after that, we have one final season that would then circle around everything, close up the loop. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts having seen tonight's episode. What do you think about the situation so far? We've seen Rhaenyra is dealing with a lot in terms of her power in the throne. Then you have Ormond, who's trying to put Daemon up into the throne. Like, what does this mean going forward? There's a lot of conflict with that. Then of course there's a whole twist with the fact that Helaena is with child. How is that going to lead into a lot of the issues that are now happening between Rhaenyra and Ormond Hightower? Then we have Aemon, who's still alive, but what is next for him? Are we going to see him then try to challenge the throne once again, or is something else going to brew? We saw that horrifying image right at the end of the episode with the city's watch. What is Daemon going to do next? Is he going to try and go behind Rhaenyra's back once again and just handle things under the radar? Or is he going to try and do something else that would seem a little bit more appropriate? Things are getting out of control for Rhaenyra, so is this a hint of what this is going to lead up to? And have there been any additional changes that have happened so far in this episode that may not align with Fire and Blood, and it's just indicating a little bit of a change to how things will end, not just with this season, but for even by the time we get to season 4? Let me know your thoughts below, and make sure to like and subscribe.